Welcome to Inside Drug Discovery. This video describes a drug recently approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. That drug is IBTROZI. This video emphasizes the medicinal chemistry properties of the drug rather than clinical outcomes for patients, because I am a chemist, not a medical doctor. IBTROZI was approved on June 11th, 2025. IBTROZI is approved for the treatment of locally advanced or metastatic ROS1 positive non-small cell lung cancer. The active pharmaceutical ingredient in IBTROZI is taletrectinib. The drug is administered orally once per day in a 600 milligram dose. The drug is available in 200 milligram capsules, so a dose requires a patient to take 3 capsules. The sponsor for the NDA is Nuvation Bio. The prescribing information insert of IBTROZI is cited through the link at the bottom of this slide and served as the main reference for this video. Let's discuss the indication further. As was said, IBTROZI is indicated for locally advanced or metastatic ROS1 positive non-small cell lung cancer. ROS1 positive refers to the fusion or rearrangement of the ROS1 gene with another gene. ROS1 positive cells are dysregulated in terms of growth, and tumors form as a result. Around 2% of non-small cell lung cancer cases involve ROS1 positive tumors. ROS1 positive tumors can be treated. Over time, a tumor may become resistant to initial treatments. This would be an advanced tumor. A tumor may also spread from its original location, metastasize. ROS1 positive tumors frequently spread to the brain. An important trait for IBTROZI is that the drug crosses the blood-brain barrier to provide efficacious drug exposures in the brain. Like many treatments for ROS1 positive tumors, IBTROZI is a kinase inhibitor. IUPhar's Guide to Pharmacology lists 4 target potencies for taletrectinib, IBTROZI's API. For all 4 targets, taletrectinib shows subnanomolar or single-digit nanomolar potency. The targets are ROS1 receptor tyrosine kinase and neurotrophic receptor tyrosine kinases 1, 2, and 3. These last 3 kinases are also called tropomyosin receptor kinase A, B, and C. I believe the ROS1 receptor tyrosine kinase IC50 value is the value for the wild type. Taletrectinib is also active against common ROS1 fusions like G2032R. Here we have some key physicochemical properties of taletrectinib. These properties were calculated by SwissAdmi. None of these is remarkable for an oral drug. SwissAdmi also predicts some higher ADME properties. Interestingly, SwissAdmi predicts that taletrectinib should not effectively cross the blood-brain barrier. Of course, all computational predictions are just that, predictions, and cannot be validated without experimentation. The properties on this slide are for taletrectinib alone. In IBTROZI, taletrectinib is formulated as a salt with adipic acid, with a correspondingly higher molecular weight. The reported PK properties are shown on this slide. The half-life of taletrectinib is quite long, at 66 hours. Note that the oral bioavailability is not reported. I suspect that both the volume of distribution and clearance are actually V over F and CL over F respectively. If the bioavailability is not 100%, then the true volume of distribution and clearance are actually somewhat lower than the values shown here. In terms of metabolism and excretion, taletrectinib undergoes both phase 1 and phase 2 metabolism. Phase 1 metabolism is mediated primarily by cytochrome 3A4 and 3A5 and by 2C8 and 2C9 to a lesser extent. Phase 2 metabolism involves acetylation and sulfation. The prescribing information does not provide structures to metabolites, but the bottom link is for a paper that gives more detailed information. The Phase 1 metabolic hotspots involve mostly nitrogen and oxygen dealkylations and on the fused imidazole ring. In a study involving radiolabeled drug, excretion in the feces plays a greater role than in the urine. Note that the presence of unchanged drug in the feces could be a sign that absorption of taletrectinib is incomplete. As an oncology drug, unsurprisingly, IBTROZI does carry a number of warnings and possible adverse drug reactions. I only list the main warnings in this bullet list. The warnings include hepatotoxicity, inflammation and scarring in the lungs, cardiovascular risks, elevated uric acid levels, muscle pain, skeletal fractures, and embryo-fetal toxicity. The adverse reactions largely consist of gastrointestinal symptoms and blood work abnormalities associated with the warnings, such as elevated liver enzymes and elevated creatine phosphokinase levels. This concludes a summary of the approval of the new drug application of IBTROZI, which was granted by the U.S. FDA on June 11th of 2025. IBTROZI contains taletrectinib and is approved for the treatment of ROS1-positive non-small cell lung cancers. Thank you for watching this video. Questions are always welcome. Please leave any you may have underneath the video. Take care.